let's talk some legacy, Aaron. LeBron James. LeBron made some interesting comments before he was before he dropped the 56-piece McNuggets all over the Golden State Warriors. It's funny, the shop aired a night before, so I didn't know he still was doing the shop, but it looked like he was. And he said, yeah, it pisses him off that he's not considered an elite scorer.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, here's why I believe it would be disrespectful to consider him that. He is so good at everything he does. The guys who are considered elite scorers cannot do anything else. Well, that's what they're mainly known for. Like when we consider Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, fantastic. People like to bring up the Michael Jordan defensive stuff when you talk about the GOAT, but people like him because he's a scorer. I like LeBron James because he can score, he can pass, he can defend, he can rebound. Anything you want him to do, he'll do it to a fantastic T. He even hit free throws now. He's hitting better free throws than he has been. So I believe LeBron James, despite him going to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I still believe, hello Chase Perry, I still believe that LeBron James, is he an elite scorer? Sure. Is that how I view him? No, because he does everything else so freaking well. It'd almost be like saying, why compare him to a guy like Jamal Crawford when he's not? He's LeBron James. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to look at this situation and think, how is a guy who's most likely set to become the all-time leading scorer not considered an elite scorer? But you're right. He's a great basketball player. But I think both things can be true.
Yeah.
He is one of the best scorers. He's an elite scorer. He's an elite rebounder. He's, I don't know, you tell me, is he an elite defender?
He was, and he can. Yes, I mean, somebody told me his highlight play is a chase down block. So yeah.
Yeah, that might be one of his all-time legacy plays. It is a defensive play. So he is an elite talent at all the different aspects of the game, which makes him an elite basketball player, and which makes him in the GOAT conversation, which puts him in the conversation. The same thing with Michael Jordan. I know you kind of glossed over that a little bit. Like Michael Jordan was an elite defender. Michael Jordan was an elite scorer. Maybe he didn't collect rebounds as much as the next guy, but Dennis Rodman probably wouldn't allow him to get into the lane. But yeah, so I can understand why LeBron is a little salty about it, but to me, it just seems like LeBron lately has just been getting salty about the dumbest stuff.
And I was going to mention that too. Like, do we ever hear Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who actually has a scoring record? No one ever puts him in the elite scoring category. Do you ever hear Kareem go like,
oh, Kareem is an elite scorer, and that's pretty much all he did the tail end of his career.
They talk about his hook, but they don't talk about like him up there with the Kobe's and Jamal Crawfords. He just has the record at this point. He has the most sellable shot.
Sure.
But I don't know if people view him as the elite scorer that he really is.
It's such a...
I don't see him complaining, though.
It's just such an oxymoron to say that guys like Kareem and LeBron James aren't elite scorers when they put the thing in the thing more than anybody else does.
And people have to bring up, well, LeBron, it took him more games to pass Jordan. People are like, but LeBron did it on less attempts. The crazy thing about LeBron James is he's doing all this stuff extra and still scoring the ball, which to me is just bonkers. And how is it even possible? How do you finish top 5 in assists and still have a score? It's insane to me. It blows my mind.
I mean, we're going to look at guys like Kevin Durant. If he had stayed healthy and his career, I mean, there were times when we were talking. I mean, not me, but other people were talking about like Kevin Durant's going to be a better player than LeBron James. Kevin Durant's on track. He's better than LeBron James now. Not once in his career did I ever think Kevin Durant was a better player than LeBron James. But we consider him an elite scorer. That's it. That's all we consider Kevin Durant. And that's not a basis for me. Same with Steph Curry. That's not even close to a basis for me for saying one of the best basketball players of all time.
Right.
Like, to me, it's just, I mean, like you take Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan struck out in more people than anybody in baseball history. But I don't consider him just a strikeout guy. I consider him one of the best pitchers of all time. And then you have a guy like Randy Johnson who struck out a lot of people as well. I don't consider him one of the best pitchers of all time, but I definitely consider him one of the best strikeout pitchers of all time. So it's kind of what we're talking about here. Like LeBron James is Nolan Ryan. He does it all. He's incredible. He throws no hitters. He has 50-point games whenever he needs to.
Which is insane.
At age 37 in his 19th year in the league, like LeBron James is one of the best players who's ever set foot on a court. But he's viewed as the best basketball player because he is an elite X. He's an elite scorer. He is an elite passer. He is an elite rebounder. He's an elite defender. He's an elite teammate. He's elite in all of it. And just because he's not, I don't know what he even means by not considered, because I think we all consider him a great scorer. But I mean, if you're talking about if you're an elite scorer and that's all you can do, then no, he's not an elite scorer. If that's the definition of an elite scorer, is all I can do is put the ball in the basket. I can't play defense. I won't play defense, James Harden, and I can't do anything else. Then no, if that's the definition of an elite scorer, then no, LeBron, you are not an elite scorer. You are an elite basketball player.
And that's why I voted nay. I made a poll on Twitter on sports. Is LeBron an elite scorer, yay or nay? Aaron, what was your vote?
I mean, like I said, are we considering an elite scorer just a person who can put points up? If that's yes, then I think he's not considered an elite scorer. I think he's an elite basketball player. If we're talking about one aspect of his game as being an elite scorer, then yes, he's averaging 27 points a game for his career, which is fifth all time. So you're telling me, okay, the elite scorers of all time. Well, he's top 5. So obviously he's an elite scorer.
Fair enough.